want to talk to you about setting the vision for your homeschool. When we first started homeschooling, or when last summer when we were praying about homeschooling, I just kept feeling God speak the same scripture to me over and over. I'm going to share what that is, and I'm going to share about why it's so important to have a vision from God for your homeschool. Hey, I'm Lindsay, and welcome to One Praying Mama. My desire with this channel is just to encourage you, let you know you're not alone, and help you along this journey of raising kids to love and follow the Lord. When we first made the decision last summer to homeschool, I just kept praying for God's vision for our homeschool. And there was one verse that I just kept hearing over and over again in my spirit, and I knew that was the vision that He was giving me. Now, it's really important, I think, to have a vision that you feel like God has given you for your homeschool, just for the hard days, for the hard times, because there will be seasons that are not so easy. You may question yourself, you may question your decision, it may just seem really big, and it's really important in those moments that you have God's vision and God's heart for your homeschool, because He will see you through even in the hardest time. Now, your vision may not look exactly like my vision for our homeschool, and that's okay. We are all very different people. God has given us all different talents and gifts, and He's called us to different things. And the same with our kids. We have different kids. Our kids may be called to something completely different in life. That is the beauty of homeschooling, because we get to have the vision. We get to partner with God in that vision for what He has called our kids to do and for what He wants for our kids. So that is why we are the best people to educate our children. And so it's so important to have God's heart for our kids, to know what He is calling them to, or what He is calling us to lead them in, because we know that He ultimately knows what we can't know, and that's their future. And He will be the best one to guide us in guiding them. Now, if you want, you can look around and see what scriptures may have guided other people. So I am going to share mine, but it might just be something that God speaks directly to you. So don't look at other people's and say, oh, that needs to be my vision, because God has a unique call and a unique vision for you. And mine might not be original or anything. I'm really not sure. I don't think I saw a lot of other people talking about their scripture or their vision for their homeschool. But this is just what God kept speaking to my heart. And that was Psalm 1, verse 3. He is like a tree planted by streams of water that yields its fruit in its season, and its leaf does not wither. In all that he does, he prospers. So that was the scripture that just kept resonating in my heart as we were planning homeschool, as I was praying over our homeschool. And I really believe that is our main purpose in our homeschool, is to plant them by streams of living water. We believe that God has called our kids out of the world to be set apart, and for us to prepare them to be strong to affect the world as they grow older. Psalm 1, the entire passage, was actually the first scripture that we memorized in our homeschool this year. And I believe that hiding that in their hearts is going to, just be one more thing that produces that fruit. But I want that for them. I want that for our homeschool. You can find the very best curriculum out there. You can pay bukus of money for all the best curriculums, and your kids could have the best, most rigorous education that you could provide, or that money can provide. But ultimately, pointing them to Christ is the most important reason that we homeschool. You can read them all the best books. They can be avid readers, which is wonderful. But if we don't point them to Jesus in our homeschool, we have missed out on the most important opportunity that we have as parents. Ultimately, we want our kids to fulfill God's purpose for them. And yes, they need to know to read and to write, and they need to know their math, and they need to, we want to pour all the knowledge that we can into them. But ultimately, everything here is temporary, and only what is eternal will last. And that is the things that we've done for the Lord and pointing people to Him. And their salvation is the most important thing. And as our kids grow, we cannot guarantee their salvation. Like, that's not a decision that we get to make. But I want to know that I did everything in my power, that I did everything that God was leading me to here, right now, to point them to Him and to set them up for knowing God and loving God and serving God and desiring to be with Him and to walk with Him all the days of their life. And if I did that as a mother, then I know that I fulfilled my call. And I truly believe that if I do those things that God is leading me and guiding me to do, then my kids will be more likely to follow God and to serve Him and to walk with Him. So that is the vision for our homeschool. I encourage you to get along with God and spend some time praying about the vision for your homeschool. Even if it's not your first year, ask God what His heart is for your homeschool. What has He called you to do? Your child may be very gifted in a certain area, and your vision may have something to do with that, or it might have something to do with being closer as a family. And I think that's part of our vision too. But ultimately, what is God speaking over your family, and what has He called you to? Share down below. Do you have a verse for your family? Has God given you a vision? Is that something you're still praying about? I'd be glad to pray in agreement with you that He would lead you to the right scripture, the right passage, or that He would just speak the vision to your heart, whatever it may be. Please share this video with a friend who might need the encouragement or just the inspiration. Please like and subscribe, and I hope you have a great day.